Well, Navajo Stirling, it's been a little bit strange for you, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Having your fight brought forward, couple of weeks, headlining that card, new opponent.
Yeah.
What have the last couple of weeks been like for you?
Yeah, just kicked into overdrive. Really, pretty much just turned my training up big time. Just because it's going to obviously made short. Yeah, it's like nothing new. Like I've been doing this fighting main event and stuff on pretty much every show I've ever been on. I've always been a main event guy. It's just the nature when you're like a large guy and you pulled in viewers, So yeah, pressure and stuff like that is just feels the same. Like I'm preparing for my last fight, so yeah, I'm ready.
You'll be fighting Phillip Latu on Dana White's Contender Series. What do you know about this guy?
From what I've seen, he's a striker, likes to stay on the feet. I didn't think too much about his wrestling. From what I've seen, that's probably where he lacks. And yeah, perfect matchup for me for contenders because I know I'll be able to showcase my skills. Who doesn't love a striking fight? And my last couple fights have been real aggressive and just really hunting for finishes. And I think that'll be what I'm going for as a knockout.
How much downtime was there between you learning that you were going to have a change in opponent and actually getting another name?
How much, what was that, sorry?
Downtime. Like, was there any gap between, or did they just say to you,
I was already training for a guy within 3 weeks, so my training had already been ramped up and I was locked in, so the push forward 2 weeks just skips all the anxiety, of that long switch off. I think because a lot of the attention was on the 305 and all that. Obviously I was going to be the last guy to come through for our side of the world and all the attention was going to come through. So I think now it's just like kind of kicked everyone over, like he's fighting literally next week. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good to kind of just jump past it all and all the hype and just go straight in, get the job done.
You mentioned like skipping the anxiety. Can you just tell me a little bit more about what you mean by that for people who don't fight?
Yeah.
What the last
Yeah,
few weeks are?
I would say it's just like the build up. It's like sometimes you feel all good, but then like people are building it up around you, and I'm like, it's just a fight. So yeah, I mean it's the fight of my life really. This is what I trained my whole career for. I knew I practiced on every title fight or whatever it was for this big moment, so that when I got here, I'd be sweet. And yeah, I'm feeling like my experiences dealing with all of that is going through right now. So yeah, like it just feels the same for me.
In terms of Dana White's Contender Series itself, what do you make of, I guess, the platform and the opportunity that you've got?
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I feel like it's really gonna the urge to win the contract and not just win, puts you into that survival mode a little bit more, and you can see it in some of the young fighters. This is what we train our lives for, and you see it when guys are in there and they're really like leaving everything, no stone unturned, and that's how I want to fight. I think anyone would be upset if they felt like they didn't give it their best, and that's the main thing, is just fighting your heart out, I think. And yeah, if this guy's good enough to bring me there, I'll definitely, put everything on display, because there's no turning back. This is it now. There's no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow, and opportunities run extra thin in New Zealand, and for me, I'll be able to. It's opening up that pathway for me to fight better fighters and be where I should be fighting, competing against the best, because I'm the best guy on this side of the world, and there's nowhere else for me to go. So the only place to go is there, and that's why I've got so much why that I know will push me through this fight.
Yeah, you mentioned you're the best guy from this side of the world. How, I guess, tough has it been to build your I guess your platform, given that light heavyweight's not the deepest division.
It's like hard because you kind of have to like write it off what you have. There's like very little names. I feel like the last guy I fought was the biggest name. Coming off of PFL and had fighting like guys from the likes of the UFC. That was the best caliber opponent for me. So I know if I'd beaten him with flying colours, not just scraping by, that I knew I was at that elite tier level. And yeah, that fight really settled that in for me. And now I know, I'm not crazy. I'm good at this stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, it kind of seems like now with 5 people from down this side of the world on Contenders this year, that people are really starting to wake up to the talent that we have coming through Australia and New Zealand. I guess, can you just speak to that being one of the guys at the forefront of it?
Yeah, for sure. I think, in my weight division, I'm the best guy coming from this side of the earth, and it's hard for the American market to sort of know how good we are because we don't have that many fights and whatnot. We just don't have as many opportunities as them where they can fight, on as many shows across their country, which is a lot, and it's we're at the area where we go to get fraud checked, so that's what the Contenders is really. And you see like the discussion on it on some of the fighters and some of the guys, they're not as good as their records say they are. So it's a weird one, a weird place. I think it's good that they have that in place, because you have to be about it, you have to be able to take those big time moments, and I believe I can do that wholeheartedly. I wear my confidence, on my sleeve, and I know I'm going to get a contract. And Dana, all my friends and stuff that have supported me for so long, they love the image that I have. Everything is iconic. And I'm young. I know he'll really dive into my stock. So yeah.
Yeah, I read something just before coming here. It was a quote from Dana. I can't remember who posted it, but basically saying they're looking for the next sort of Sean O'Malley type guy to come out of the Contenders. You feel like you can be that guy?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because I had been practicing that for a while. Being a name, and trying to get that superstar status. And I'm open to it, I feel like a lot of fighters close themselves off to it, like they just want to fight. And sometimes it's not about that, you got to be entertaining because you have to be a fan favorite. I think people love that, and that's what sells the tickets. Like if you're really, really good but no one knows who you are, like guys, they don't really care like what they're watching. They'd rather watch 2 guys that aren't as good that put on a good fight that they love, or hate. I think that's the one, and I think I can do that for us on this side of the world. I believe I'll take that.
Have you studied anyone in particular, or like asked for any advice on how to, I guess, best present yourself when you have a microphone in your hand?
No, I just try to be myself. I feel like I don't need to be an idiot, or I could just be myself, but I can just speak about what I think about and stuff like that, and people are locked into my conversation. So I never really do that. I just watch some of the good fighters, obviously like Sugar Sean, Israel, the big ones, Volkanovski. They're real good on the mic, and they have their image, their branding, and I think that's me.
Yeah, for sure. And for people who haven't seen Navajo Stirling, the fighter in the cage, what do you want to show the world?
Just like how experienced I am and the versatility I have at a young age, and I think that's the big one. Despite my fight record, I believe I'm a very experienced fighter, and I've been in those deep bad moments and all kinds of fight situations. So I think people can see that about me, and they'll really be able to get behind me.
Sweet, man. I'll leave it there.